For our family anyway, some cross-country moves, school events, blocking the bride and groom. I'm being told to get out of the way. Thank you. You know, major school events, soccer leagues, and all that kind of stuff, graduations. And yet I think a lot of the things that are small in life, some of the smallest things are the most significant. Bill Helping talked about that last night. He gave a terrific speech, I think, about some of the things he remembered about Dave as he was growing up, and so I'm kind of following suit in that respect. For those of us who knew Sarah really well, you realize that she just kind of muddled through school. She barely made it through. I was looking for knives in the back. But anyway, she made it through. She got through as best as she could. And, what I do remember, though, I was talking about the small events that are really important. And what I remember was she was, yay big. She was really small. Sarah, Megan, our older daughter, would be out front. She was loud and proud, and Sarah was back behind her mom, holding onto the leg. That was Sarah. And then time rolls on, and so she begins to tell us when she's in early elementary school, she wants to be a paleontologist. And so, we were supportive and with her in paleontology. Yep, she's into paleontology and wants to be a paleontologist. So Sally and I played along with that, and so we did ask her occasionally, would you like a brontosaurus, a stegosaurus, or whatever? No. You don't want any of these, dinosaur toys? No, she had absolutely no interest. So as time went on, we couldn't figure out, why do you want to be a paleontologist? You don't want to play with, dinosaur toys. Well, the reason is, we finally figured out, is she could say the word paleontology, and nobody else could at her age. And that was our first clue that Sarah had a real love for language, because she does. And that grew and grew over time. And one of the things, too, is she's a little bit older than that. She loved to come up with plays. She and Megan made these incredibly elaborate plays. Down in the basement, I'd come home and weekend or after work, and there would be plays with costumes, a very detailed, elaborate script, everything that you can, a castles made up with blankets and cardboard. It was, we've all done that. But the difference was, if either one of them happened to miss one of their lines in the script, the other one just absolutely got all over them. I mean, you would think they were like two little professional actors. And I think that was the beginning of when I realized how directive Sarah could be.
Sally.
Please trust me, that's very much an inherited trait. And then, fast forward a few more years, there's the quirky side of Sarah. And those of us who know her well, especially all the people who've gone to school with her, Dave and others, those in the family know there's that little quirky side of Sarah. So I'm going to forewarn you, this part is absolutely not funny, okay? It's not funny, but for those of us, all four of us, we were all together on vacation, Sally, I, Megan, Sarah, and we were sitting at a table. It was a nice evening meal, and right in the middle of the meal, there was something said. I don't even remember the exchange, but Sarah looks over at Megan, and she gives this big exaggerated wink, like, see, I told you it's not funny. It was only funny, but the four of us, we absolutely died laughing. And I pulled Megan and Sally before we left to tell something on Sarah, and it wouldn't be complete without telling that kind of inside scoop. So continue to go on through high school, and then hit beginnings of college. And I came to realize there was something that I never heard her talk a whole lot about, and that was relationships with boys. She was so focused on school and so intent and driven. But we stayed in close touch. Obviously, Sally and I were still in the Netherlands. She had come back over here to the States, as everybody knows, to go to IU. And she was, very upfront about all the things that were going on in her lives, but she never ever said anything about a boy. And one day, something slipped, and she talked about David. said, "Who's David?" And so, well, you know, he's this guy, and I talked to him, and I said, "Well, you're talking to you're." At the time, actually, I left this little part out. She was in Peru. And so she and I were talking, and I was wondering, how in the world is she talking about? Well, we've been doing Skype. Actually, we've been doing Skype for several months, Dad. And so I thought, okay, Skype, that's got to be harmless. There can't be anything to it. No worries. I mean, you see each other on the screen, and what else can happen? So anyway, obviously, how long I was with that. And one thing that really brought it home to me is that I forget the exact sequence of events, but Sarah and I, because it ended one of my business trips and it collaborated with the time Sarah actually traveled with me back here to IU. I, like I said, finished up a business trip. We got here into Indianapolis. This is late at night, mind you. It's like 10 or 11, maybe even close to midnight. And we're driving, got the rental car and heading down to the hotel. And she said, "Oh, by the way, Dad, I don't really want to go to the hotel." And so, okay, what, are you hungry? And, "No, I want to go to this guy's house." "You want to go to David's house? It's midnight. What are you talking about? We just flown for hours from overseas." "No, I kind of want to go to David's house." And that's exactly when I knew it was much, much more serious than what I ever knew. Oh, and by the way, a little, post note to that is I talked to Sally about this later. I said, "Did you know?" "Oh yeah, I knew all about this." Dads are always the last to know. No, at least in our family, the dad was the last to know. So now, David, I need your attention for a second, okay? So this is the serious part of this aspect, okay? So what I want to tell you, in absolute sincerity, I want you to know you're absolutely welcome in our family. We are so excited to have you as part of the McNeils and the Owens, who nobody knows about from my maternal side, part of the Pinchicks and the Champions, and you're part of a much larger blended family, just as I know we are with yours. Bill did a wonderful job last night of welcoming us. Beth and Bill have done a terrific job. We feel very much a part of your family. And we really are one big family at this point, and so we're just excited beyond words. It's a joyous day. Well, no. I still have the mic. But so this is the last actual piece of advice at this point. There's a little phrase you need to remember always, okay? It starts off with "yes, dear," but has to preface it, "yes, dear." And then, I want to make sure I get this right.
You should have it right.
Yes, dear. Yes. You're right. I am wrong. It'll never happen again. And then here's the key. You have to memorize that for life, because it will happen again. Okay, everybody, if you have a drink, if not, just raise your fist, all right? Safe. Safe. We're not combining your first names, all right? It's just the last name. Okay.
Dave.
Give me another one. Dave. Sarah. We just, on behalf of the whole audience here, and I know you're going to have several other toasts to go, but as your dad and your mom, I just want you to know we wish you the very, very finest that life has to offer. I couldn't be prouder. Sally couldn't be prouder. We love you with absolutely all of our heart. Here's to a wonderful first day of marriage and many, many blessed days for a lifetime to come. Cheers. Cheers.